Hello and welcome back. This is Grillenheimer. Now, I've had some requests, and that is to go over some of the things y'all have made. And that includes Ironhide. And that's what I'm going to start with, are the three Ironhides. This has been a few months, about 3 months ago. I'll call him Chuck, like Charlie Brown. Uh, and it was kind of his idea, and I can't remember how. And I've got a buddy from another state, and I'll just call him Buddy. So, and I can't remember if he actually came to me wanting to make. He had pictures of Ironhide, and wanted to make an Ironhide. And then at the same time, it seemed like Chuck was wanting, hey, let's all make Ironhides together, and let's all make them be 7 stars, and have a trio of Ironhides. And 3 times 7 is 21. You could easily throw in 4 star cards, fill out the 25 star count, and have some more Ironhides to the game. And if you look at some of my super old videos, you'll notice I actually had not a great deck, but a deck to go with the 3 official Ironhides that we got from Wave 1, the Sentinel from Wave 2, and I think there was a Captain Ironhide from Wave 3 or 4. So, and that's kind of, we didn't make those Ironhides, but we wanted, Ironhide is such a beloved character, especially here in the South, because he always talked like this, hey, Prime, hey, focus fires, get out your, but I'll stop that. But, it was Peter Cullen talking with a Southern accent, and we loved it. So, we were probably all big fans of Dukes of Hazzard, etc., etc. So there's that. So let's get into these 3. Well, you've already seen my Ironhide. I'll kind of brush over him at the end. But let's look at Chuck's Ironhide first, which is, they're all 7-star characters. Buddies I changed from like 8 or 9 to a 7 because they were all supposed to be 7 stars. And when I started pulling these up to make this video, I was like, oh, it's already 7-star. Cool. So there's that. Excuse me, it's early morning. I just dropped my kids off to school for their first day. Hopefully I won't get any strange calls. And I gotta have coffee. So first off, Chuck's Ironhide. 7-star, which they all are. I did not change stats. I didn't change anything. And actually, this is his own making. This is not in my MSC. I think he's using a slightly different program. 13 health, 4 to attack in alt mode, and 1 defense. 5 to attack in bot mode with 2 defense. This is a little high for a 7-star character. When the normal average is around 10 or 11 health. Didn't change it. This is his character. I don't want to, change anyone else's characters. But the best thing we could compare it to is about maybe Sergeant Mirage at 7 stars, who had 3 to attack in alt mode and 4 to attack in bot mode, because Sergeant Mirage is a 7-star character with 13 health also. Normally you see 9, 10, 11 health on 7 stars. But he went a little high with not just health, but attack as well. The defense is pretty normal. In alt mode, it's the simple truck and melee. This is our melee Ironhide. You're going to see some neat things that we did kind of collectively here, because Chuck showed me his first. I helped get buddies together. He sent me all his stuff, and then I made mine. And you'll understand how all these work pretty well together, I think, unbeknownst to the rest of us. Win this battles, and you flip at least a white pip. This gets +1 to attack and +1 to defense until end of battle. So again, some strong stats that are going to be even stronger if one of your 9 white pip cards, thank you, Dan Arnold, happens to pop up during battle, which is going to be a nice buff, turning him into a 5 to attack in his alt mode. It's a cool old picture from the old G1 show when they were, let's make a river, or whatever that was, saving the village from, oh gosh, that was like episode 2 or 3 of the very first episodes of the old show, I think. No. It was that 2-parter. That's right. When the Decepticons brought Cybertron to Earth, and no, I'm not talking live action. This is where it came from. So that's his alt mode. His bot mode is he's melee on both sides. He's our melee Ironhide. He's gruff and ornery. His function. In bot mode, his attack goes up by 1 to 5. His defense also goes up to 1. There's no flipping when this flips on this guy. So everything is very battle centric. In bot mode, it's just simply tough 1. Even though he has his attack goes up to 1, and when he's in alt mode and you flip a white, he's gonna be attack 5 and defensive 2. Let's go on to Buddy's Ironhide. Buddy's Ironhide is Autobot muscle, truck, and ranged. This Ironhide is a ranged Ironhide, and he's going to be ranged on both sides. This Ironhide is the 7 health. 11 health, excuse me. He has 11 health, 3 to attack in alt mode, and 3 defense in alt mode, because Ironhide, he was a veteran. You know, he knew his stuff, and he was very defensive. And most of our defensive capabilities normally are in alt mode, and that's what Buddy was going here with. But we have a special card from wave 1, the static laser of Ironhide, or was that wave 2? Before the game begins, you may reveal a static laser Ironhide. Maybe I should add in your deck, and put it in your hand, because it should be coming from your deck. So let's see here. Buddy won't mind. He's got his Ironhide. He's happy with it. But if anybody else wants to play with it, they probably want the correct terminology. So you may reveal a static laser of Ironhide from your deck and put it in your hand. So you're going to be able to start off with 5 cards in your hand with this Ironhide. And it was the one only idiomatic weapon we got for the character. We might wanted to go with maybe add a new one sometime too. Flip him over to bot mode. His attack goes up by 2 to 5. So he's going to have also 5 to attack. His defense comes down by 1. Still a ranged character. When you flip, now we got to flip. When you flip to this mode, which is unusual for bot mode, you may move a weapon from this to another character. So if you use all these 3 Ironhides in conjunction, or with an official Ironhide, say you use Chuck's and Buddy's in an official, because these 2 together would be 14. You'd have 11 stars left. You could use Captain Ironhide, who I believe is a 10-star character, instead of using mine per se, or mix. I mean, we have 6 Ironhides with these 3 anyway. You really move stuff around, so you could move that static laser of Ironhide from one to another. Say this guy's tapped and he has the static laser of Ironhide. Flipping to bot mode, move it to another Ironhide. Voila. So when you flip to this mode, you may move a weapon from this to another character, but it can be any weapon. And to me, that's better than Captain Ironhide's ability, being able to put another with a weapon on it for a blue weapon, which I don't know, it just seemed kind of weak to me even back then. So there's that. So that's Chuck's Ironhide, that's Buddy's Ironhide. So now I had to make mine, and so this is why mine is a specialist and mine is a leader. I got thinking, we're making 3 Ironhides. Ironhide, in a way, was sort of Optimus Prime's go-to guy. Ironhide would sometimes, he didn't always take the lead, but when it came to battle, he was there first. Some Prowl in the G1 show is sometimes considered his second in command, and may have been to some extent, but I always considered Ironhide because Ironhide and Prime were as hard to separate from Ironhide and Roller. So I thought, well, let's make him a leader. So we'll have a leader out of these 3 Ironhides, and Chuck made a melee Ironhide. Buddy made a ranged Ironhide. Mine's a specialist. You're welcome. So there's that. And then I was really trying to find a picture of his van mode. And I had a hard time doing it. He's a beloved character. There was tons of bot modes, pictures of him in bot mode. But I couldn't find one of him in his van mode. So I'm like, well, let's look up the real van. And this was right on the verge when I was about to be making my Autobot characters, which are done now. And this was sort of the test to that, to have a picture of the real vehicle on one side and the cartoon bot mode on the other. So that's where this came from. Ironhide was the first test of this run, of this look. So you have a picture of the real Ironhide vehicle with its window, one of its windows open. Even the side window looks a little open. And it's in a parking lot. And I was trying not to get that looks like a truck to the left of it in the picture. And again, 7-star. This one also has an 11 health, just like Buddy's. So 11, 11, and 13. You put them all together, you're going to have 35 health of Ironhide. So, wow, that's about average. Actually, around 33, 34 seemed to be average back in the day before we went on custom. So when I made that stratagem to be able to have 3 Seekers or 3 Decepticon planes, as I said, I didn't use the term Seekers, to be able to use 3 planes and have up to like 30 stars of Decepticon planes, and then you had to damage them down to 33, and as well as my water tanks, which are going to be coming in the Undisclosed Chapter set, to where if you want them all in, because if you put all their star counts together, it's more than 25. So you can still use them. One of the characters, say if you have so-and-so and so-and-so, Catwalk, Sealer, and whatever all together, damage, I think, do 4 damage across the characters. So you probably do 1 here, and 2 damage on the middle one, or something to that effect. So it seemed to be that was the average for about 3 wide characters. Way back in the day, it was around 33, 35 health. So didn't mean to go on a tangent. So the average total health for about a 3 wide could be about 33, 35. So, my Ironhide, 4 to attack in alt mode, 5 to attack in bot mode. His defense is a little backwards from Buddy's. Alt mode only has 1 defense. His bot mode goes up to 2. But when he defends in alt mode, when this defends, each blue pip either player flips is a blue instead. So you're going to be taking off that pierce. Did I say that right? Each black pip either player flips is a blue pip instead. Maybe I said blue and blue instead of black to blue. So when he's defending, you're gonna be taking off some of the pierce from your attacker on the flip only, not action cards, not upgrades, but only black pips on the flip. And then you flip him over. He's still a leader and a specialist, so he can really get those field communicators and other specialist cards and casual gameplay triggered. He has Tough 1, which goes about the same par as as Chuck's bot mode of Ironhide as well. But for his bot mode, when an armor is put on this, draw a card. I really like this. We've been testing this Ironhide some, especially with Buddy and I. We get a lot of try to get a lot of games in, and we got some this weekend too. And we played about 2 or 3 different games. And I had a certain set. It wasn't this Ironhide, but I remember testing this Ironhide, and you have some extra paddings in there. Boom, boom, boom. Draw, draw, draw. Yes, you're welcome. So it's a really neat gimmick. I haven't seen it anywhere else, and I was really I looked at, because they had already made theirs. I helped Buddy make his, and he knew, man, Buddy makes some great cards and great abilities, let me tell you, with Necro Titan and some other stuff. And so I was trying to come up with something different, and I'm like, well, Ironhide is, well, for him, he's Autobot Security, which his function I took right out of the old bio from Bob Budiansky. Autobot Security. They came up with some fun stuff. I stuck with the G1 original bio. Tough one in bot mode, and being able to draw cards with simply put an armor, draw a card. Wow. So you get draw power from mine. With Chuck's, you're going to get some good swings in with his, and he might last longer being at 13 health as well. Buddies, you're going to have really good defense with his alt mode having 3 defense, as well as being able to start with the static laser of Ironhide in your hand at the beginning of the game. Similar to like Wheeljack, being able, I think you can have, you can start with a card in your hand at the beginning of the game. And there's 1 or 2 other characters that does something similar. So he was doing that with his Ironhide, and then mine, is working off getting his armors on and being able to get draw power as a result. And as well as being able to turn your attackers' black pips to blue when you're on the defensive in alt mode, and white pips with Chuck's in his alt mode when battling, and raising the stats even more. So wow, a lot of neat things going. And so you definitely would probably, if you put all these together, you probably going with a blue, black, white pip deck, in some decent, I mean, I wouldn't go overboard with orange, but it's definitely going to be a mixed deck to get the best of all 3 worlds here. And definitely some extra paddings. Did I call it extra armor earlier? Extra paddings, and some other armors. 3 static laser of Ironhide. And some of the normal things that you would want for these guys. I think they're good. And especially being able to have ranged, melee, and specialists opens up being able to use those cards as well, to be able to heal one, draw a card, and what is it? Damage somebody? Golly, it's been a while since I played that card. I forgot the name of it. But that's all I got right now. Didn't mean to go 19 minutes. But thanks for watching. Those are our Ironhides that we created probably back in April, May. No, maybe it was May. Golly, at the beginning of the summer. It's been a while. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. More to come. Oh my gosh, more to come. And as always, flip out and let's roll for it. And before we let you go, just realize that Chuck did make, actually maybe we both did by accident, 2 cards for Ironhide. I called it the Armored Artillery Cab. He called it the Artillery Cab. And they're both utilities, and they're both the same picture of Ironhide's cab from the toy. And you kind of can see it in the alt mode of Chuck's side with Spike or Sparkplug or whoever shooting using the thing out of his back. It's a one star utility card with an orange pip. Well, why 1 star? It's for Ironhides only and gives Pierce 2. Well, it's going to help stats. So it's a utility that gives +2 to health and +1 to defense, as well as the Pierce 2. But yes, it is a simple orange pip card. So I think I am with Chuck on that, needing the star on there for the added stats, and being only at 21 health total across these 3 Ironhides. You could have 3 of these in your deck as well. So I got a picture of his. Here's a picture of mine. It's really the exact same thing. His shows rare. I'll make mine rare too. Mine, they're really the same card. They really are. And I'll try to show the one he made, then the one I made of his and used his picture in the MSC, which looks a little, I don't know, a little more uniform because it's the Magic Set Editor. And then he came up with another utility. Is a strange little utility. It's a white and black pip card that it only gives +1 to attack, which is good for the utility side. Again, it's put on Ironhide only, and it's called Malfunction. Oddly enough, it looks like Ironhide is getting frozen. But when you put this, and I had to fix your text a little bit, because I think you had, when you put this on an Ironhide, scrap all upgrades on the defending enemy. And once I started putting in the Magic Set Editor just last night, which would be August, what is today? August 15th. It was yesterday, Sunday. Is that, one, we have a problem. Birds. We've already played an action and upgrade. We haven't called an attacker yet. Because you draw a card, play an action and upgrade, or battlefield card, I guess, or secret action or zone card or whatever in any order, but then we have to tap. You tap and attack last, and due to that, you haven't called an enemy yet. And I got thinking, maybe this needs to be changed. I hate to turn into Matthew Sweard here, but you know, when you put this on an Ironhide, scrap all upgrades on an enemy character. So it's not going to be your defender, because you haven't named a defender yet when we put our upgrades on our characters. Because if you've already tapped and called your defender, it's too late to put an upgrade on it, right? Technically speaking, looking at how we play. But when this is scrapped, do 1 damage to an enemy character. So that's okay. I think the word that text Chuck had was not win, it was while or something like that. But technically it does need to be win. So I changed that to win. And scrapping all the upgrades, I took off defender to just an enemy character. So, and then if you want to target that enemy and make that your defender, no problem. And then when the malfunction is scrapped, you get to do 1 damage to any enemy character as well. So, and that was his idea. That's its presentation. That's all I got time for. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.